So if you find yourself in a situation where you've grown your business for the last 10 years with word of mouth and referrals without doing a lot of branding and without doing a lot of PR, outreach, and Google ad campaigns, and find your pipeline dry today, I want you to stick around. My name is Darrell Evans. Welcome to MindShift. And this is a common scenario that we face with prospects of our agency who have grown successful businesses doing healthy amounts of revenue over the last 5 or 10 years, but maybe they hadn't put their digital marketing game fully together. I'm working with one of our prospects in our agency, and their lead flow has completely dried up. They've built their business by word of mouth and referrals, and they're in the B2B tech space. They have about 4,000 visitors per month coming to their website, but one of the problems they have is she says they've only gotten 5 leads in 6 months. She says we're struggling to grow our traffic without investing in ads, and we're only doing cold outreach, and we're trying to create thought leadership on our blog. Her question for me that I'm going to address in this particular video is, what is the best way to grow our brand and build a lead generation funnel in the B2B tech industry without heavily investing in advertising? Thank you for submitting your question. I appreciate it, and I'm empathetic for the situation that you're in. I will tell you that in prep for this video, I went and took a look at your website, and congratulations on the work that you have all done. I will say though, in B2B tech, the first thing that I want to invite you to consider is that today, reaching B2B tech buyers is not the way it used to be. It used to be a lot of B2B companies, you could just be on the other side of cold email outreach. Let's talk about what the problem is with that today. Cold email outreach now is sitting in inboxes on our smartphones and in our inboxes on Gmail and Outlook, and we are spam filtered to death. But we are also inundated like never before, buyers, that is, CEOs, owners, and founders, those people who might be needing your product solution. And I see that you offer some very cool stuff. You guys do things in the consulting space, the AI, the tech stack space. It's very important stuff. So we appreciate you doing that. But let's talk about this idea. Number one, the blog idea, writing the content for the blog, is going to be a challenging task going forward. All we have to do is take a look at what's going on inside of the world of Google right now with the Google AI overviews and the Google AI mode. A lot of people are losing traffic right now, including some of the biggest blogs and websites on the planet. People like HubSpot have lost 60-70% of their traffic in the last 7 or 8 months alone. My own agency's website, we've lost 70% of our traffic, and it's not going away. Why is this happening? Well, if we're writing blog content right now, the AI engines are just regurgitating the answers from our blogs. So I'm not a fan today of writing blogs as a strategy to get out of the challenge that you're currently in. Now, if you've already written the content, that's fine. We're going to talk about what to do with that content in just a moment. But the question was how to build this brand and build this lead gen pipeline without paid advertising. And I'm sorry to give you this answer, but the answer is true for working with our agency and how we see data in today's market. I don't believe without cold outreach, if cold outreach is working for you, keep doing it. But I just don't know if it's a successful idea to think that you're going to go into social media organically, even on LinkedIn, which is where your buyers may be likely hanging out. I believe it's an uphill battle to try to rebuild your lead gen pipeline without some sort of paid ads. Now, let me back up and probably take a guess as to why you said without paid advertising. It's probably because your owners don't believe in it. It's probably because it was done before in the past and it didn't work out. It's probably because you spent tens of thousands of dollars and you didn't see an ROI. Ask me how I know. Well, I've been running an agency for 15 years and we've done well over, $300 million for clients. And the issue is, it's not that the ads don't work. It's that the right framework wasn't in place to generate the leads. I'm not going to get into a deep dive on paid advertising here, but I am going to give you an organic strategy to consider. But before I do, let me just go down this paid advertising path just a little bit further. We have a philosophy in our agency. And by the way, you're not the first person to say we only want to grow with organic content or only want to grow organically. I will tell you what I think you can do to get a little bit of momentum in that area. But I'm going to say this about paid advertising versus organic. I don't think it's either or. And if you're in our agency and you're in our world and we've got all the data that we have, we think it's an and. It's not either or, it's and. So if you're having a hard time convincing your boss, your principals, the people that make the financial decisions about paid ads, I would like to offer this as a consideration. Maybe you've hired the wrong person in the past. Maybe you didn't have the right strategy in the past. And maybe you didn't have the right structure for a conversion in the past. And what I'm going to say about that is that when we think about paid advertising, there's a certain structure of paid advertising that you run from a Google platform or from a search platform. And there's a different type of ad campaign that you run from a social media structure or platform, be it LinkedIn, be it Meta, what have you. I also think that there is something that's been challenging for people to understand, because you read a lot of news and say, well, the cost of paid advertising keeps going up and up and up. Well, when I came up in the marketing game early in the days, the goal was always to outspend our competitors, meaning the person who could spend the most to acquire a customer would win. And I know that that messes people's heads up, because it almost sounds like we are willing to spend a ton of money to get our customers. That's not actually what it says. It says the company that can spend the most to acquire a customer will win. That simply means we've got to be willing to know what it takes to get a customer and how to do that in a more efficient way than our competitors. It doesn't mean we want to spend more than our competitors. Okay, for paid advertising, I would just love for you to consider that for your space and for your industry and for what I saw on your website, I don't know how you're going to get around this journey without paid advertising. Having said that, I don't know what your long-term goals are. I don't know what your current run rate is. I don't know where the gap is right now. So maybe, let's just say you can do this without paid advertising. Let's talk about thought leadership, because you mentioned that you're doing thought leadership. Here's the big idea that I would have for you. And I don't know that I saw this on your website. I think I went to your Instagram and your Instagram was not working. I did go to your Facebook and all I saw were static image posts and some blog links to content. So here's the good news. You've written the content. You've got your thought leadership in writing, and I'm going to encourage you to do the thing that a lot of people resist doing. And that is, you're going to either want to work with a creator or an influencer, or someone in your organization is going to want to start doing this face-to-camera work. And you're going to want to probably double down on social media, be it YouTube and social media like LinkedIn, and start to bring your thought leadership to the very platforms that everybody's using every single day, and that's their mobile devices, their mobile phones. You have a lot of content on your website, a lot of content on your blog, but I would start looking at ways to repurpose those blog posts into video. I don't know if you have someone in your company who can do that. If not, I would certainly consider making the investment and having someone become the face of the company. That is where the opportunity is right now. One other thing you talked about, and that is that you're lacking leads. And I've said this many times, but I went to your website and I did see a lead magnet called an assessment on your website. But I have to tell you, as good as the website looks, this is no knock on the design. This is just the way website design works. The problem with website design is it looks good from the surface. The problem is it's too taxing on the human brain for the person to find the right vehicle to contact the organization. Now, what I found on your website was one primary call to action for you requesting to learn about their project, but I wasn't clear how I could take a step into your world without getting into a sales call. I then found this assessment, which is a pretty good idea, by the way, but I wasn't exactly clear what would happen on the other side of the assessment because I couldn't tell what the report was going to tell me. So it does look like you've got some lead mechanisms in place, which is great. I would say that you don't want to send traffic to your website because that assessment was buried in the middle of the website and it made my brain have to find out what it was, and I'm just not going to stick around to convert if I have to think too hard. There's a concept called don't make them think, and you want to be really clear to send people to landing pages, which is also why paid ads is so important, because when you understand the problems that your prospects have, and you can advertise to those problems, and the perfect person sees the ad with the problem identified, they then go to a landing page and the conversion process will work much smoother. So listen, organic, you have the content, you've got to turn that into video in some way, how, shape, or form. Find someone who will be face to camera and do the easy work. By the way, you don't have to memorize the script. I'm not memorizing a script right now. I'm just sharing this information with you off the top of my head. You guys are experts at what you do. Someone can do that. And if you need a script per se, you can put your script next to you, whatever the case is. Whatever you want to do. If you want to go down that organic path, you're going to need to get in video. Here's what's not working on Facebook and Instagram and any of the platforms today, and that is static image posts linking to a blog post. It's just not working anymore. It worked in 2015, it worked in 2017 perhaps. It's just not working today. So can you do this organically? Yes, you can, but it's going to be variable, and I don't know that I would bank my budget on an organic strategy in a high sophisticated B2B niche that you're in. Can you go down the outreach game? I think you can. I don't know anything about that. That's not my jam. There are plenty of people around the world who know how to do that better than I do. So I don't want to speak to that. I can just tell you on the other side of my email inbox, I just don't respond to that stuff. It's just not the way I buy. And I'm a buyer. I'm never a lead. When I show up in somebody's world, I'm about to buy your stuff. And I'm not responding to emails, even if they happen to make it to my inbox. Number one, I have a great executive assistant who takes care of my inbox for me. So you're just not likely to get to me or some of your most important buyers. So listen, I know what you are facing. We've seen it many times over the last 15 years. Our framework is a very structured framework. Number one, figure out who your buyer is, where they're hanging out. Number two, figure out how to get in front of them. Number three, find out the right thing to get in front of them that would make them take a step from being a stranger to becoming a signaling some interest and becoming a lead. And then you can figure out that conversion vehicle. With all of the products and services on your website, with all of the offerings that you have, I bet there's one specific doorway product or doorway service that you should build your entire marketing campaign around. That comes out of our framework called the Lean Growth Method, where we work with clients on one specific aspect of their product offering, and we narrow in on the pain so that you can find that prospect abundantly in the marketplace. So listen, I know the challenge. Going from word of mouth, which is a lot easier to do, when you're getting word of mouth, you're getting referrals, it's so much easier, and they're very profitable, don't get me wrong. But we've got to learn that when we go digital and we want to start working with prospects that we don't know, we do have a little bit more work to do. And we have a little bit more work to do one thing primarily, and that is to find a way to take a perfect stranger and build trust and get them into our pipeline. Part of that trust building was provided by the referral who gave that referral to you in the past. And when that's not there, a lot of people struggle trying to figure out how to build trust in digital platforms. That's the goal ahead of you. That's the job ahead of you. And if you do need more help, feel free to leave us a comment under this video, reach out to us in the community. We thank you for being a part of the community. And for those of you watching the video, if this resonates with you at all and you'd like to get a copy of our framework, feel free to click the link down below. You can download a copy at your leisure. I'll see you in another video. Take care.